Hello. Over the weekend, I developed 24 color films, actually 23 color and one black and white. And I think I learned a lot of things, so I wanted to share what I learned. I used the Cinestill kit, the powder one, and it was the third time I'm using such a kit, but the first two were liquid. So I was a little scared about the powder, but actually it was okay. And one of the things that worries me a lot because I bought it around a couple of years ago and I haven't used it until this weekend. I have it, how can I say, sealed, but I was still feeling that maybe there is a possibility that it's not fresh. So when I mixed the developer, the liquid came red, pinky, actually pinky to red, and I was watching some videos when people are mixing it and it was white. So I thought maybe it was oxidized. I was asking AI and I was doing everything. But it seems in some forums they mentioned that um, maybe they changed the formulation recently. So I don't know. But the AI was kind of worrying the replies that it was possibly expired or oxidized, but no problem. Then I noticed that I'm having my developers here. I noticed that sorry, not my developer, developing tank, not developer. But I wanted to say something with you. What I'm usually doing, and I was following the instruction, I was agitating a lot as the instruction says. So something like 4 times every 30 seconds, and I was doing this. And I don't know if this caused a lot of foam. So especially as I'm developing more and more films in the container, I notice more and more foam, and it was like coffee, instant coffee. But then also because I was doing such a lot, I started actually I mix my chemicals on a Thursday, and then I think I developed one film. Then a couple of or developings on Friday, and then the other was on Saturday and Sunday. So it was a lot of films, and after one point I was start feeling my hand tired of this movement, and I remember that I have this tool. This tool is you put it inside. Oh no, it dropped because I didn't have the other tool. There is like a tube inside, but when you instead of doing the movement, you can have this on the top and circulate that, so you mix the chemicals. And I was reading again that possibly this will cause problems, but it was fine. There was no issue with that, and the films came actually similar. So, and that was it was much easier on me. And another thing is like it's not only easier because you don't do the movement. One of these I have two. One of these covers is not so I don't know how to say in English. It doesn't perfectly connect. So sometimes when I was doing that, some chemical split around. So if we do this, it's also from this. This way is also safer for messing everything around. And the other thing that is scary for color developer is the water temperature. And actually, what I did, I had a bucket. I I have a kettle full of hot water, and I make it as full as possible, and let it boil. So and then in my bucket, I put around 2 liters of tap water, because if it is, I wasn't sure if the hot water will damage the plastic bucket, and then I put that water in, and I was checking in the first time the temperature of this mixture, but it was like 50 degrees, so it was fine. And then I have my chemicals on the bottles. I have my chemicals, the plastic containers, and I put that inside the mixed water. And I was leaving it there for around 12 minutes, and then checking the temperature, which was like between 36 and 39. And I was checking then from the brochure, the leaflet that comes with the chemicals. I was checking the temperature there, and then I was adapting accordingly my developing time. And this was the first time I did it that way, and actually it was less scary than I thought. It has gone smooth, and I had like a temperature, like a cooking temperature with like the metal thing that you can put inside, so there was no problem on that. And I also a classic thermometer that I can also use to check the other water. And that was okay. I had something else in my mind, but it's gone. And then I was adding the chemical inside, and yeah, I was distracted with something. So, oh yes, I remember. Before I developed the first two packages of Cinestill, which was the liquid one, I wasn't sure that it was without having any equipment that I was able to check the temperature. So I was reading around and I find out that you can develop it in Stand Developer, and I choose Stand Developer for the previous two kits. And I don't remember if I tell you, but if I say when I started, I will say that again because I don't remember. The idea for me was like in the past, the first kit at some point expired, and so I damaged my negative, and I thought instead of like develop one film, wait to shoot the next one and shoot again, I decided that I will shoot all the films I bought, and then start developing all together, because I didn't want my chemicals to expire again. But this time it seems like my last negative was not too bad, so I decided to buy some more films and try to see how long it will last. And the first time I use it, I have the brown glass bottles, and that was not a great idea because it doesn't fully close secure, and also there is a big gap between the liquid and the top, and that helps to oxidation, and that damages the chemicals faster. So I bought the like accordion bottles, and I secure them, take most of the air outside, and I hope this will last more. And that was kind of easier also to heat up and everything. So, but what worries me that way is that most of my negatives, when I scan them at home, I use the how is it called? I have it here. It's like the Digitalizer Max, most of it, or before I had a light, I think it's called light box, or which light when you can put the negatives on the top to check. In the past, I was using this and I was taking with my camera photos and then make it positive. But then I bought this from Lomography, but still the negatives were coming like having it's like you look at them through a blue filter, and I was using auto color correction and improving it, but not for all the photos. So what I did then is like I was reading online, asking. I think I asked ChatGPT, and it suggests that maybe this is not because of the chemicals, and that was because of the scan of the white balance on my camera, and that was interesting because one of the reasons I wanted to switch to checking the temperature and not stand developer, which on stand I have it in room temperature for like 60 minutes or depending on some other parameters, and then after mixing I was leaving there for 60 minutes the developers and then putting the the fixing thing, the bleaks, how it's called. So what happened is then I asked ChatGPT what is causing that, because I thought it was developer, and it suggests to shoot in RAW when I take the photos of the negative, which before I was shooting in JPEG and auto white balance. So then I checked to shoot RAW and then open the RAW file and then select on the camera the thing that I have Photoshop element, so it opens the camera RAW, and there the only thing I'm doing in the photo there it's selecting the auto white balance, and then I'm opening the file, and because the photo is, I don't know if I'm doing it correctly or not, but it's has a lot of black area, and I'm cropping the photo, inverting it, and then what I was doing before, it was auto color correction or levels, but seems like if I start with auto levels, automatically correct the color, and that makes my negative even better. So that's the things that I learned, and I learned another quite important thing is that from all these things I haven't finished all my scanning. I take the photos but I haven't edited them, and I noticed that taking photos from like cameras like Pentax 17, it's fine, it's interesting. My Nikon DSLR, it was fine, but I really love the effect of Holga and all the plastic cameras. So maybe, I'm not sure, maybe I will stick, but this can change anytime, as you know. Maybe I'll stick for black and white mostly with the good cameras and also the Holgas and everything, but for color, switch as much as I can to like plastical, cameras like Holga, Diana, and things like that. And as I say, because it looks like it is not, my chemicals are not terrible, and they are still fresh. Although I developed around 23 plus one, as I say, black and white separately on the weekend. I think I bought some Kodak colored, Kodak gold negatives, both 120 and 35 to try. I don't know. I used some other. I used the lomography films before and some other films, which I will share in the future. So I don't remember if I ever or recently tried Kodak Gold, and see what Holga says on that. I mean, the result. And this is like the things that I learned from the developing. But there is another thing. I will share some videos in the future with this camera, which is a 110 camera from lomography. I don't know if it's focused, hopefully. Hopefully it focuses here. And in my first roll, I bought only one 110 negative film to try with this one. And I think I get 10 out of 24 photos. And I wrote to lomography because I thought the camera is broken. But then I was again exploring online, and it seems like I have to really press hard on this one. And that was the reason I have a black and white, and the next day I try. I mean, it was crazy enough to develop all these negatives in a weekend, so there was no reason to develop also black and white, but I thought it's better to check so I can reach the company early. And then in the black and white, when I was reading all these things, I was pressing enough and all the photos came. And 110 is maybe an interesting format, but I'm still trying to explore it more. So, in summary, I hope it was not so bad idea sharing these thoughts. I wasn't planning to share a video for that, but I think maybe some of you can find these things useful. So, in summary, we learned that it's not worrying if the developer is on the Cinestill powder kit comes pinky. There is not so much worry about the foam when we agitate. I don't know if I can say that the word in English correctly. But although that's not a big problem, it's better if we use the other tool to reduce the foaming, because maybe when there is less liquid, maybe it will cause more things. Then it's better if we scan using things like taking photos of the cameras to have the raw shoot in RAW and have auto white balance, and then shoot with auto, but then also correct it. What else? Because when you open the file, it says, I think, as shot, and switch there to auto, but also shoot with auto. And as I say, I really love Holga results. So if you like, if you want to share your thoughts, please leave a comment. Also like if you like it, and the comments can help other people find my channel, and also you can subscribe and find my work also in Instagram. And looking forward for the next videos that will have a lot of color films along the other way. Along the black and white. Thanks again for staying until now. Have a good day, and I'm looking forward to start sharing actually all these photos. Oh, and the final thought. I don't think I will do that again. I think it was too exhausting and too much pressure on me, and I don't know if it's necessary. Maybe I will start in the next time. First of all, I still keep shooting to see how long it will last, and then the next time maybe I will try to use this try to use these bottles, the accordion ones, and see if I have better luck than the other time, and see how long, if it is like 3 to 6 months, we'll see. I come back to you maybe in the future sharing these thoughts. Thanks again for staying up to now, and I don't know what else to say. Bye for now.